First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX and WIBX950.com.
Katie Aiello is the owner of Character Coffee in downtown Utica, and she's running for First Ward Common Council member seat, the seat on the Common Council, and she's on the line right now. Katie, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on, guys.
So, listen, you're in business, you're busy. What makes you want to run for political office?
Great question. I would say, I'm also on top of being a business owner. I'm a single mom to 2 girls, and they're 4 and 2. And a lot of times I spent just thinking about what will Utica be in 20 years, 30 years? Will my daughters want to stay here? You know, I moved away to Charlotte for a couple years and wanted to move back. And I hope to keep being able to be a part of making more people want to do that and combating the youth exodus we see.
Yeah.
I should have asked you this before he asked you the political question. How are you still in business? I guess is my first question.
And by the way, in any other setting, that would be an offensive question. But but in a pandemic, it's a pretty darn valid question.
Yeah, all the rules are out the window now since the pandemic. So it's actually, I give all the credit to Uticans, especially when COVID shutdown first happened. We had so many people just buying gift cards and showing up, or it's like they'll come out for coffee so one at a time. I think coffee is a little bit easier because it's just an easy way for people to have a sense of normalcy for 5 minutes to get out and go back, and it's a cheaper product normally.
What is your so when you I can't just be our goal is that our kids want to live here and not move far away. How do you like we made peanut butter this morning? How do you create the perfect recipe to make all that happen? How do you make peanut butter?
There's so many pieces here, but what were you going to say?
No, I'm just wondering what is it that you feel should be done in order. Obviously, you're not going to solve the world's problems or the city's problems in a quick interview. But what are some of the things that you think should be done maybe differently that would help out the cause here?
I think so. I have the same exact thought process when it comes to these things. I actually made a survey for my friends, and it's about 10 questions. I literally had 50 friends who moved away, so I emailed it to all of them, and it kind of went through of why the people left, which mostly the answers are they left because they needed a job in their field. And when I say, are you moving back, some of them say no, and that answer is really around the idea of culture. Yeah. And by that I mean, they're gay. They want to be gay, and they want to be able to be themselves. Or, there's so many different kind of conversations of that. Now, while here's the thing, I think Utica is turning in that direction more than ever. So that's comforting for me to know because we can fix the marketing piece of that. That's actually my background in communications. Mm-hmm. So any of the conversations that, those are the ones that I just want to use data to know what's actually happening and to bring solutions that will effectively get ahead of it.
So if what you're saying is if you're alternative, it's not easy to stay here. You want to go somewhere where you feel comfortable, but you feel that Utica is becoming more welcoming.
Absolutely. I mean, how many of our, 12% of our population is made up of refugees even, and that's just the culture diversity. And I think out of all the districts, too, let me just give a shout-out to First Ward of being the most diverse when it comes to even just age and abilities and careers. So it is, I don't know, because how many people do you know Utica is great in the sense that, we've been here for, we're almost at our bicentennial, I believe, right? In about 11 years. So there's so many people who have the ancestors here that have by generations. So that is a beautiful piece of who Utica is, but it's also, people get concerned about, what their parents think and grandparents and goes on,
Yep, understood.
Katie, I know that you were very active on social media and had posted several videos about a number of issues. Two of the issues I'll bring up, the debacle at the Board of Elections and also the downtown hospital project. Can you kind of give us a summary of what your thoughts are on those two issues? Yeah,
I will. Did I make a downtown hospital video?
Oh,
doesn't matter with that. I'm trying to think of where.
Oh, I didn't know about the parking garage. Maybe there was, that's going to be a big part of the that's going to be a big decision. I think that the city's going to have to work with the county on moving forward.
Right. I will say with the actual, because obviously if people are just tuning in now, a lot of the conversation with the parking garage is that they want the city to pay for, if it's $300,000 now, the parking garage, a certain portion of it. As a resident, it is right now, obviously you hear Frank Aiello and members of the Common Council say Utica can't afford the parking garage and the expectations that they have. I just try to look at the numbers of that. And also, as a taxpayer, you look at, okay, if Oneida County residents are already paying the taxes for this garage, to be hit twice on Utica taxes too, that is where I'm definitely hesitant with the project.
You're not against the garage. You just want to make sure that Uticans don't get stuck with paying the tab.
There's
twice.
That, and I think there's with the parking garage. This entire process with the hospital, I just want data of how many parking spots are needed, why, and how many are used now at the facilities. I'd rather see more of that before I could even say, yes, the parking garage is needed and signed on to.
I think it's, who cares what I think? I do think that it's needed. I do wonder, did you know that the hospital was going to be connected to the City Hall garage? Because there's a walkway that goes that's being built right now that goes from the hospital to the City Hall parking garage. I sent you that picture the other day, Monaski. Did you know that?
I always saw a little, you can see it in the Photoshop renditions. I never put together that was what that was going to.
Yeah.
So,
but it's there. I got to ask questions about that and see, who pay. Does that mean who will be parking there? Is it the public? Is it physicians? Is it just a walkway back and forth? I'm interested in that. We'll talk.
City matters.
Yeah.
The parking garage has already, in the hospital in general, has already cost Utica as far as the land in these pieces. And if we're upkeeping the parking garage for the city, those are just pieces I think we should play out of when it comes from county versus city of who owes what.
That's interesting. And of course, the battle goes on. That's part of the eminent domain issue that Utica is handling right now is for the property for that parking garage. That's the next final chapter in this whole thing. It's going to be very interesting. All right. So there will be, listen, if you make it to the council, this is going to be an important time, not only for the city of Utica, but the entire region, the state, the country, the world, as we're trying to recover from this incredible shutdown. It's going to be some real important decisions coming forward.
Absolutely. And I think a big reason why I'm running is as those decisions keep coming. In the past, there have been decisions made about our lives without our input. So I'm running to just change that, to build the communication needed in my district, to build constituent engagement of all of those pieces so we can be ready for the decisions.
Okay, very cool. Thank you, Katie.
Thanks so much.
And good luck out there. And the council election for the city of Utica is actually not until, am I correct? When is that election? Is that November?
November 2nd. I don't believe I have a primary, but the primaries are in June.
Primaries coming up, and village elections will be coming up as well around the region. Okay, Katie, thank you so much.
Have a good one, guys.
You too. Thanks.